Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from Detov Challenge Roth. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by HOKA, Fly Human Fly, Master Spas, deboer wetsuits, Outrigger, Kona Resort and Spa, stay longer, save more. And of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation, our next guest, coming off one of the most spectacular races of all time, Ironman Hamburg, where she went, 8:03:15, which is hard to wrap your mind around. Laura Philipp joins us. Laura, is it something you look back at that race and go, I can't believe that really happened?
Well, I did feel it in my legs that it happened and in the whole body. So I was pretty tired after Ironman Hamburg. But yeah, you are right. It was a really spectacular race. It was super intense from the first moment on. And honestly, I think it took me 2 weeks to really digest the whole 8 hours, 3 minutes, 27 seconds.
It's crazy when you look at that. And to be side by side with someone, there's not many races where you're with someone the whole time like that. That's nerve-wracking.
Absolutely. And I think it was, for me, the first time that I was so close with one competitor for a whole Ironman. Because if you look back at Nice, where Kat and I went head-to-head on the run, but I had to first catch up on the bike.
Yes.
So, there were 3 or 4 hours where, we weren't together. Or I wasn't really with anyone. I was trying to overtake as many as possible. Exactly.
And there you're sort of in a no man's land because you don't see people forever because of all the climbing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That I think made it extra special to actually have this race and this intense of a fight in Germany on home soil for me, and especially on the run, on a 4-lap run course. We had so many spectators cheering us on, and I did feel like I have that little bit of a home soil advantage.
Oh, sure.
And it was just a really, really cool experience, and I'm sure a race and a performance I will look back many years later and still be very proud of.
What did you and Kat chat at all afterwards?
I think we were both super exhausted, so it was even tough to go over and congratulate her straight after, because I was feeling not too good at all. But yeah, of course, we saw each other again at the awards and
congratulated each other.
And I think, it was just really cool to have this close of a battle and to have such strong competition, because I think that is definitely something you need to really push yourself to your limits and maybe beyond. And I think that's what we both did, and I think that is what we both should be grateful for, that we have competitors like this.
You need steel sharpens steel. You need great competitors to push you to another level.
But for sure, I guess it's like a love-hate relationship, right? But I think that's healthy, and you need this in order to push yourself.
So this race, Chrissy Wellington, it's gone 8:18, which blew 8:19 and 8:18, ran a 2:44 marathon. Oh my God, that record would never be broken. Then a couple years ago, Daniela Reef comes here and goes 8:08, takes 10 minutes off the course record, and ironically, who's there at the finish line? Chrissy Wellington, seeing a record at. And we thought, okay, that record's going to stand for a while. Then Annie Haug comes last year, 8:02 something. She's got the fastest iron distance race. You have the second fastest iron distance race. What's going on? You're going from 8:18 to 8:08 to 8:03 and 8:02. Somebody's going under 8 coming up here soon.
Yes, I think, I'm prepared, to answer these questions many times over the weekends, because, obviously
that's
I think
that's
the next question. That's what people probably are waiting for.
Yes.
And honestly, I think without the super long transition zone in Hamburg, we would have gone sub 8 already.
That's right. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So racing Hamburg coming pretty close to the 8 hours definitely helped me to think it's possible.
Right.
I'm 100% sure it's possible. I think it's just a matter of time, there have to be good conditions on the day.
Exactly.
I think there are a few factors, that need to come together so that one woman will break it.
Yes.
And I don't know who it will be. Of course, it would be super special to be the first one. I think, then you're kind of making history, and it's super special. But for me personally, I think I know the things that have to come together on the day,
Right.
so that I could be the first.
Yes.
And sitting here with you, sweating like I said, like I'm sitting on Bob Babbitt's hot seat because our car just showed like 39 degrees. So I think this is one factor that is not so good for going super fast.
No. And one of those things is sometimes, you can go into a race and feel all my training is there, but you have to adapt for the conditions, right? At the end of the day, you want to win. You want to win the race, and you want to go under 8 hours, but if it's really hot, you're going to take care of yourself out.
Yeah, and I think also one fact that is interesting is if you look back in the history of triathlon racing, in the beginning, the pro women actually started together with the pro men. I think here in Roth, they swam together.
Yeah, everybody
And
did.
so there's also a development on how women races look,
Right.
I think in the beginning they were like in the mix of
Yes.
the men and so on. So there are also like some other factors that have influence on the female
Women were,
race or
those-
times and so on.
Yes, there was actually back in the day, there was a thought that some of the male pros who weren't going to be a factor in Kona would maybe take a little payment to pull some of the women in the bike with the swim. So there was some of that going on. It was and that's one of the reasons they went to separate swim starts in Kona, because they wanted to get the women separated. But it was still very difficult to cover the race, media-wise, with the motorcycles, because of the men age groupers with the women pros. It was very difficult.
Yeah, so I think, for me personally, in the beginning of my career, I never really thought of it. Like,
Right.
I just accepted it. But then, I raced my first women-only field race, or just
Yes.
women's on the race. And that really showed me how different race dynamics are
Yes.
and performances. So this really made me think of, okay, I really need to trying to also get race organizers to the point that they realize that the gaps between pro men and women need to be bigger.
Bigger
So
gaps.
because I want to race only women,
Well, yes.
and
And that used to be one of the problems we have in Kona, and I think that we still have, is you get men age groupers get passed by Laura Philipp, and they're like, oh, I can be on camera. I think I'll stay right here. Or they'll battle with you, and you're like, I'm not here battling you. I'm looking for Kat, right? So
yeah, exactly. So I think it's super cool that we are all racing together, but as a professional athlete, I also want to have fair racing, which means like I'm only racing women, and
Yes.
there is no outside impact on our
Right.
race. For example, last year here in Roth, they shortened the gap between pro men and women.
Did they really?
Yeah. I think in the past it was 5 minutes or more,
Yeah, yeah.
and then last year it was 2 minutes
Ooh.
because of the coverage or something, and that really
Did it make it tougher?
didn't really make me so happy, to be
Yeah.
honest. So I'm really happy that Felix and his team listened, and this year we are back to 7 minutes,
Oh, there you go.
which is really cool.
Yes.
But maybe this also means that times aren't that fast, So this is another point that will have an influence on a race, for sure.
You never know. What's interesting, I was here when this was Ironman Germany, and Lothar Leder was the first one to go under 8 hours. And that morning, he had a flat tire before the race started.
Oh.
And he was running around, and I'm like, either he's going to have the race of it, because he was like angry and jumping
Yeah.
around. I'm like, he's either going to have a great race or he's going to blow to the moon. And he went sub 8 hours and became the first guy. And then this race has that history of people going really, really fast. But you're right. Every little move somebody makes changes the dynamics of the race.
Yeah, for sure. And, if you're in the race, there's not much you can do. Like, you
Right.
can try your best. But it's super interesting.
It's going to be so fun. And then looking forward to Kona, which I'm always looking forward to. And I'm looking at it going, okay, so you've got Kat Matthews. We've got Annie Hogg, who's won an Ironman World title. We got Taylor Knibb. We got Laura Philipp, who's won an Ironman World title. We got Lucy Charles, who's won an Ironman World title. We got Chelsea Sodaro, who's got an Ironman World title. Got Julie Duron, who's got an Olympic silver medal. Oh my God, that's the Magnificent Seven, right? There's obviously a lot of other women that I'm not remembering right now, but I'm looking at those 7 women, and the race is going to be amazing.
Yes, for sure. That's huge. It's
great for the sport.
It's super great for the sport, and I'm really sure that we will have amazing racing.
Yes.
And I think whoever will win in Kona this year, really needs to risk everything, and
That's right.
that calls for exciting racing, I think.
Was it when we chatted with you last year here? It was all about the prep for Nice, right? That's what we chatted about. This race was here, and it was important. And you got second, and you got third the year before, but it was all about Nice. And so this year, was it all about Hamburg? Is it all about Roth? Is it all about Kona? I'm imagining it's all about Kona right now.
Yes, it's definitely all about Kona. But Hamburg did surprise me form-wise. I didn't expect to be in such good form
early
already.
in the season.
Exactly. Yeah. But I do see Hamburg and especially Roth here as an important stepping stone towards my Kona performance.
Right.
So, I really want to gradually build through my season, and every long distance race is a great stimulus for the body, and you always take away some lessons and something you could improve maybe towards Kona. And I think if we look at the weather conditions for this year's race, I think it's already a great practice.
This is perfect for that.
Yeah, to handle the heat well, to pace myself well, and hopefully not make too many mistakes, so my body, can handle it. And I think, that's my road to Kona. Let's call it like that.
So when I look at last year, the variety of events where you were great, right? When you get third at the T100 in San Francisco against women who aren't doing 70.3 or aren't doing fulls, right? You're going against a lot of Olympians stepping up, and you get third in that field. And then, obviously what you did at Nice, and you got second here. Any other year, your 8:14 beat Chrissy's course record, which we thought would last forever, right? And then obviously what you did at the World Championship on a brutal course with 8,000 feet of climbing. Every one of these courses is so different, right? The variety, and that to me just says how much you've developed as an athlete, that it doesn't matter what the course is, it doesn't matter what the terrain is, that you're going to be prepared and you're going to be ready to attack that. If I asked you that question a couple years ago, I'm guessing the answer would be a little different in terms of you are a better athlete now, a more prepared athlete, a more confident athlete than probably ever in your life.
Yes, I think, you answered my question already. That's exactly.
See, I can do the question and answer. That's why I get paid the big bucks, because I can do it all.
No, but it's true. On paper, I would say I would definitely prefer hilly, harder bike courses.
Yeah.
I think they would just suit me in the way how my physique is and my riding style. But for example, I chose Ironman Hamburg because it is completely flat, and this is something I want to be better at.
Yes.
As a more lighter athlete, it's sometimes tough to really push high watts on the flat. So this is something I'm working on, and I think it's really great to just face challenges and to race on different courses. And most of the races you mentioned, they were all stacked fields, so there was no hiding. If you have a weakness, it's exposed to everyone.
Right.
So I think that really helped me to grow as an athlete. And obviously winning the Ironman World Championships in Nice was especially mentally breaking through a barrier. So I think that definitely gave me a lot of self-confidence and trust in what Philipp and I are doing in training and in building my season. So I'm just hoping that we can put to plan all the takeaways from last year, what worked really well, and trying to do maybe even better this year.
So when you have a race like you had here last year, you get second. At that point, the course record is 8:08 from Daniela. And you have a great race, but Annie's having one of those days like you just had in Hamburg. As an athlete, you know where she's at. You're probably not going to catch her. Do you just look at it and go, she was better on the day? That's all I can do. I did my absolute best. I had a great race. I broke the previous course record, and someone was better today.
Yeah, I think in those moments it's super important that you look at your own performance and I was in the position to be able to compare my performance to the previous year, so 2 years ago. And doing that, I really improved on the bike. You know, I think I rode close to like a personal best power number on the bike. So, and I did rode a lot faster than the year before. So that was for me a great achievement. And knowing I came off the bike, I think 7 minutes down. On Anne, so I think everyone knows that this is not a good position to be in if you want to try to win the race. So to be honest, that was mentally tough because I knew I'm also in a good shape. And my dream scenario would have been to run with her, you know, to come off the bike with her and then to be in a run battle, because I think maybe I could have also run better than I did, but the position I was in, it was actually really tough to run like to my best ability, because I knew even if I run sub 240, I won't catch her, right? And so looking back, I think I was really proud of that I kept being strong, you know, because I could have slowed down and still become second, because I had a gap to the third place. And I think those are moments that really shape you, you know, how you handle them, how you be able to, maybe I wasn't mentally able to overperform, but I was still able to perform really well. And I think that was really important on the way towards Nice. So overall, Philipp and I, we were really happy with my own performance. Obviously, we really wanted to win or race for the win. But that was the best I could do. And I think it was a super important stimulus towards Nice.
So the number that impressed me in Hamburg was 2:38:27. Sub 240 marathon, right? That's unbelievable. Take me through just what it took to become a sub 240 marathoner at Ironman. Wasn't that long ago where guys weren't breaking 240, right? That 240 was a magical number, and now guys are down to 230. And the women are down, like yourself, 238. I think, and that's what Annie sort of ran last year, I think, was the same type of time. What's the limit? How fast can you guys go?
Well, having done Hamburg, I think it's not the limit, but it obviously really depends on the course, the conditions of the day, and maybe also the competition, right?
Yes.
I mean, Kat and I, we were really close together. At first, I was like kind of chasing her, right? So I didn't want to let her go, but I also didn't want to close too soon because I had the running next to each other experience in Nice for a few Ks, and you know, it's actually, I think it's nicer if you have someone in front of you, let them feel you're still there, like.
Breathe a little bit. Exactly. Let them hear you back there.
But maybe not have her hear my breathing, for example. Yeah. So I think it was a good position to be in, but obviously I was also checking my splits, and they were really fast. I think the 10K split was 36 something, the half marathon 118, and the good thing was I was feeling good, you know, and that gives you like self-confidence and like the belief. But I also knew like at some point I really have to make a move and close this gap, and then even trying to, you know, gap her if I want to win. So to make that decision, knowing we are running so fast, did take me, you know, a bit of, I had a brave moment, you know. I was like, okay, I commit to this now, and either I will win or, you know, I will walk.
Either I will win or I will walk. So that's a new T-shirt. I like that. That could be a kick-ass clothing line. I will win or I will walk.
Exactly. But it was cool because when I overtook her, you know, I really told my brain, okay, there's no way back now. You need to keep on run this pace.
Right.
And I tried. And then we had like this really heavy rain pouring, and it was just like a crazy experience. At one point I thought they will, you know, stop us because there will be lightning or something. So I was just trying to run even faster because I thought like, okay, I need to make it to the
I want to be leading get to the finish before they close this race off. And how many times did you guys go back and forth in terms of...
on the run?
Yeah.
None.
You waited. You waited for the right moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you made it, you're probably going, please don't come back.
I never look back.
You don't look back.
I
No.
try to not look back.
No, you can't look back. That's a sign of weakness, right?
Exactly.
Always a sign of weakness looking back. Very cool. Well, winning this race, this is obviously part of, German history. And winning this race on home soil would be pretty damn special.
Yeah, that would be super special. It's my third time racing here.
Second, third, you're missing one spot.
I'm
You've been all over the podium.
Exactly, yeah. I think it would mean a lot to me. You said it, like it's a super, super important and big race. For me, it's like the biggest race next to the World Championships. And over the last 2 years, I had some tough moments during the race. And, there's so much atmosphere and it's so intense on the race course. And if you're not feeling so well, you also can't really enjoy it.
Right.
And this is what I really wish for myself, that I have one of my best days on this course with this amazing crowd. And I think if you as an athlete experience that, I think that is like really, really special. And this is what I'm dreaming of and hoping for. But even though if it's not like a magical day, I think it will help to have so many people here, to help you push through. But obviously I'm here to try to win, and hopefully Sunday will bring me some luck.
I love it. Laura, thank you so much for taking time. Always a pleasure to chat with you.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Laura Philipp has been our guest again. Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Roth. Hold on. We will be right back.